Well, Prince got an opportunity to him and Corey to get in here and actually get acclimated in real time with what our plan and our schemes are. And I thought they did a pretty good job with that. Obviously, Jacobe is practicing at a pretty high level, picking up where we left off at from the bowl game. DJ Jordan, one of the young freshmen, got a chance to really get some good reps with both the first and the second unit, and was able to do some things and show that he's physically and mentally in the space to really start to be able to step in and contribute for us. And then of course, Jaden Richardson has been steady. He dropped a couple of pounds, and I think the weight that we got him playing at right now suits his body, so he's able to go out and play fast. So, from top to bottom, I thought the spring was good. My three kids that are walk-ons got a chance to show that they can help this team, not just offensively, but in the special teams area as well. And that being Santi Doss and Donovan Wells.
Prince has such an interesting story, not really playing organized football until late. Can you kind of tell he's still raw in that sense, that he hasn't had as much football maybe?
Well, I think some of the things that kind of showed of his rawness was him still trying to learn what we do, how we do it, and our expectations, at the same time actually getting out there and doing it for speed. So, I think, by the time he got here and got enrolled in school, we were already, a month and a half into the off-season program. So for him to get in and make some of the plays that he made in practice was impressive within itself. And I think, the guy that you see with him coming into fall camp, where he has a whole summer to fine-tune some of those things, as well as, gain some time in the weight room. He'll be a different player come fall camp.
Seems like that size, the physical traits are all obviously there.
Yeah, from a physical standpoint, he's a specimen. He gives you everything that you want. And we, honestly, since having been here, going into the fourth season, you saw a lot of it. The same things, the progression that you're seeing with him, you saw a lot of it with Brendan Rice when that first semester when he was here. So, I think the excitement for him, as well as the rest of those guys come fall camp, I think the upside in the ceiling is very high.
Speaking of upside, Jacobe Lane, we all know he had the talent to do what he does. Talk about his maturation process, though, where he's now becoming more of a vocal leader of the team.
But Jacobe has always been a person that, wears his emotions on his sleeves. So, you, from the first second when you encounter him, you can tell if he's having a good day, if something's off. I think right now he's just playing at a level of confidence where, he has, if you look at his Twitter account, he has "You Can't Guard Jack." I think, he said it enough to now he's starting to believe that, and every time he steps on the field, that he's starting to practice and play at that with that same type of mentality. And I think, he's an infectious person because, like I said, he wears his emotions, outward where everybody can see it. So, when he's playing and practicing at that level, it's an inspiration for the whole offensive unit as well. And I think that's, one of the things in his maturity or in the steps that he's had thus far in the offseason that is, not helped his personal growth and improvement, but it's also helped our offense.
Do you like when players wear their emotions on their sleeve like that, or do you have to kind of help them find that balance?
Well, I think you try to help everybody find that balance. But the one thing about me is, when you come here and you play and we're working together, I'm not going to try to change your personality. And, that's, I knew that feedback on the front end about him coming in and was fine with it. So, I mean, I would be fooling myself to think that I'm going to try to change who he is as a person once he got here. And, I don't think that's, personally, I don't think that's healthy anyway. So, I mean, I get that adversity is going to happen. He gets that adversity is going to happen. And, we've both worked together to try to put him on the right plan and path that, when it does come, how do you adjust, as quickly as possible.
There was a stretch later in last season where he didn't play as much, and I know Lincoln had talked kind of about, him becoming more mature and taking that next step forward. Is that a point where you have to have a conversation with him about that? And if so, like, how did he respond going forward? Obviously, he had a big performance in the game.
And part of having the title coach, you're constantly having a conversation with the guys that you're working with. So, I mean, it wasn't like one instance, and it's like, oh, hey, let's have a conversation. I mean,
Sure.
I think, I never coach every kid in that room the same way because they're all different individuals, when they come here. So, what you try to do is, what's worked, for me is getting to know them and figuring out, okay, what buttons do I need to push to help you get, and stay reminded of what you're trying to accomplish. Because at the end of the day, it's about them. And so, I mean, there's been several conversations that we've had. There'll be several conversations that we'll continue to have because, I mean, I think it's going to be an ongoing process.
With Jacobe, what are the buttons that work to push?
Well, I mean, I guess that's what makes me special, right? That's kind of like the kryptonite. You never hear what's in that secret sauce. Those are just conversations, mentor to mentoree conversations that you have. I mean, not every day they're always going to be the same.
If you were to compare Micaiah and Jacobe, how far apart are they on that spectrum of emotion?
I mean, they're two different individuals. I never really look at it as a comparison because, both of them are talented players. Both of them have their different strengths, but both of them are very, very different, unique individuals. So, I mean, to me, that would be a disservice to them to try to compare the way they approach things.
Obviously, Jacobe has sky-high potential. What is the key for him kind of taking that next step this year going forward?
Well, I mean, I think the first key is, for the team to take a step. And I think, as the team starts to have success, all of these guys individually, success rate will jump off the chart. Key things, in my opinion, for him is to keep doing the little things that he's doing. Such as, being accountable for your own actions first, and then, set an example for the rest to follow. I think right now he's doing, he's taking a step in the right direction and doing it.
How have you seen that accountability maybe in him taking that step?
I mean, a lot of small off the field things. The details and the nuances and alignments, and split alignments, and things on pre-snap that nobody really notices before a play happens. His interaction with his teammates in the meeting room, his interaction with his teammates on the practice field. People talk about his emotions a lot, but if you ever watch a game of practice, if you're truly watching him, I mean, if somebody else does something, he's the first person over there to congratulate him. So, I mean, a large part of, of that, like I said, is infectious. So.
You guys are going to start hitting the road.
With Micaiah kind of on the same note, what's the key for him to kind of taking that next step?
Well, I mean, I don't know if there's just a one thing key.
Sure.
Obviously, Kai's probably the most competitive guy we have on our roster. And from a talent standpoint, Micaiah can play all four of the skill positions. So, I mean, that versatility helps him, and then he gives you so much in the special teams game. With the big four, he can play on all four of those. Now, obviously, we won't be able to use him on all four, but, from a talent standpoint, you put him out there and you know that he's going to get his job.
Is there
So the biggest thing will be him is the consistency and the nuances and the details that he's worked on thus far.
that battle for wide receiver number 3, I guess, so to speak, how's that going right now between the rest of the group?
Well, I mean, I'm not really trying to get a battle for wide receiver 3. I'm trying to get a battle for all of them to be wide receiver 1. So, if you're doing things the right way and you're doing your job, the ball, finds you. So, I mean, I don't really want to go into it in a situation saying, hey, okay, this is 1, you're 2, and you're 3. I want all of them going in with the mentality every time we snap the ball is coming to you. So all of them should be going in with the mindset of, fuck this, I'm a receiver 1.
I know you guys did a lot of rotating with the receiving core last year, especially. Do you envision Mekhi and Jacobe maybe having more of a? I know you said everyone's competing, but do you envision maybe less rotating at that position maybe than years past, or the same?
Guys earn their opportunities to get out on the field. I think I said this from day one when I first got here. If you're a receiver and you're not going to block, then you're probably not going to play. So, I mean, the rotation comes because guys are in those spots. If we have guys that, compete at a high level and earn, the right to be out there, then as a coaching staff, we'll evaluate and kind of determine, okay, how many reps should this guy get compared to how many reps that guy should get. So, I mean, at this point, I don't know that I would really say, in fairness to them, that we are going to predetermine before the season started, before even fall camp, that hey, we're giving this guy this many reps. That kind of contradicts and defeats the purpose of them working their butts off during the offseason. So I mean, we'll evaluate that, probably the second, third week in fall camp. Right now, all of them should be working to be receiver 1. All of them should be working to be the guy.
You've been with Lincoln a long time as an assistant. College football has changed more in the past 2 years probably than has, I'm sure, in your entire career before that. Like, how have you seen him maybe adjust to this brand new kind of landscape of college athletics?
Well,
college football?
As the game changed, we all have to evolve. We talk to our players about not getting content and being comfortable, so we have to practice what we preach. So, as it evolves and as it changes, so shall we. And if we don't, you get passed up, and most of the time when you get passed up, you become unemployed. And right now, I like being able to provide for my family. So.
Corey Simmons was early in Roll 8. Where have you seen his growth from when he got here to where he's at now?
I think, where he's at now, he knows where to line up. He knows what to do when he lines up. The growth for him will be, all right, not just understanding where to line up and what to do, but understanding the big picture. And I think this offseason will provide him an opportunity to get out there with the guys that he's going to be on the field with on Saturday and physically do it, time after time after time. So it becomes just a reaction as opposed to reassuring thoughts and thinking per se.
You guys still planning to go to Mexico this year?